But it isn't. And it isn't in the sense of I'm trying to nurture what I said before, what boundaries do. Protect and nurture what we have here. I ain't telling nobody else nothing about boundaries. But if we want this to stand the test of time, because when we move to marriage status, that's what it's supposed to do. For better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, till death do us part. It's supposed to last us a lifetime if we don't have no boundaries.
What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to the Value TV show, the show where we give you tools to build and have healthy relationships. That's right, tools to build and have healthy relationships. I don't think y'all understand what's about to go down right now, man. I got my guy, my brother, my dear friend, the person I might call periodically, and we just sharpen each other. Iron sharpens iron.
Indeed, we do that.
Mentor, father, mighty man of God, counselor, marriage savior, rescuer. He's been rescued to be a rescuer. I can go on and on, man. But I got my guy Quest Green in the building. I'm
just checking the account to make sure that I can cover the check I'm about to write you for that dope introduction. You know what I'm saying?
How you been, man?
I can't complain, man. It's good to be back in the A again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shouts out to all the, you know what I'm saying, all the fam resting in the A. So yeah, it's good to be here, man. Good to be here to sit with you. The wife is good, man. As long as she's good, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she's definitely good. So that means I've been doing something right. You know what I mean?
Man, we were chopping it up on the phone.
Oh, no doubt. We always chopping it up on the phone, though.
Yeah,
you know
that was last week.
Yeah, last week.
That was last week, man. Listen, man, it's crazy out here with relationships.
Oh, they under attack. Major attack.
So you out here saving thousands of relationships.
Yeah, I'm trying to. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to officially become the marriage mogul. You know what I'm saying?
I've been cutting right to the chase on stuff too. Like, we could save it for the end, but I'm gonna go right into the beginning.
Yeah, let's go.
What's up with the retreat you got coming?
Oh, shouts out to Jasmine Womack, man, and the Six Figure Storyteller Conference. I'm here this weekend for that. And so I just finished the book, and we could talk a little bit more about that later on. But I have a retreat coming in April of next year. My team don't be telling me stuff now. They just give me the dates, and I believe it's June of next year, and we're going to Antigua, West Indies. We're going to the island of Antigua. Why? Because I believe that marriages, like for real, sometimes you need to step away and take in not only the environment, but who you are in the environment. And then once you can get an idea, they say that once your mind expands to a particular place, it's hard for your mind to go back, right? So the reason why we picked that island is because it's one of the many different islands that we want to visit. So we said, all right, let's take the marriages out there, give them a taste of what it means to, let me tell you something. My wife is no longer my wife when we on vacation. She becomes my girlfriend. Let me say it one more time. My wife is no longer my wife when we on vacation. I get girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? When you a girlfriend, like for real, it's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't worried about the kids. You're not worried about what bills need to be paid. We doing what married folk do. You know what I'm saying? And we enjoying every bit of it. And so when I take her on vacation, she's a different person. So we took that element of that mindset and said, what if we could get some of these couples away so they're not thinking about all the things that happen around. Quick thing. I was talking to Inky one time, and Inky, we were talking about going to the next level. We were talking about careers and what causes people to get burnt out. And Inky said, Quest, people don't get burnt out because of what they do in terms of their job. People get burnt out because life makes them forget why they did this in the first place. Same thing in marriage. People don't get burnt out in marriage because of the relationship. People get burnt out because the demands of life pull them in so many different directions that they forgot why they did marriage in the first place. So I just want to take them to an island where it's palm trees, it's blue waters, the environment, you know what I'm saying, causes you to forget everything that pulls you into many different directions when you live in life here. And once they get there and experience that and experience who the both of them are in that environment, then I want you to remember that, take it back home and say, what can we do at home periodically until the next trip that will allow us to experience here what we did when we was in Antigua.
And life is definitely pulling people in a lot of different directions.
Bruh.
Man. So here's the thing. You're talking a lot of marriage success.
Oh, yeah.
But before people get to this successful marriage point or success in any part of their relationship, whether they're married or just in a committed relationship, I want to talk about these standards, these boundaries.
Okay.
Because I believe boundaries get us to that level.
Okay.
You know, I'm pretty sure you wasn't always skipping to the tulips in the marriage.
Oh, no.
So when I say boundaries, what comes to your mind?
Boundaries are to protect what you currently have in place, to grow and to nurture, right? It is, and when I say growth, I'm talking about growth for you as an individual. I always like to relate it to when you put up a fence around your yard. You don't put up a fence around your yard so you can tell the other person what they doing or how to do what they doing in their yard. You put a fence up around your yard to protect and nurture what you have inside your yard. So in other words, your boundaries are put in place to protect and nurture who you are as an individual, right? If my neighbor Bill plants begonias, I don't look over into their yard to tell them what they're doing. I plant tulips in my yard so that I can grow and nurture them in my yard. What am I saying? There are some of us who put boundaries in place because you want to control the other individual. Their behavior as it relates to you. You can't control nobody. The only person you can control is yourself. And that's why I'm saying you put the gate up around, not to control other people, but to control, nurture, check, all of that with here. I've seen one too many people, like a wife don't like the way a husband is speaking to her, right? She think a boundary is, I told you already, don't talk to me that way. That's not a boundary. That's a weak attempt to get your spouse to do something that you don't like that they doing, right? Now, if I say to her, or if she says to her husband, the next time you talk to me like that, I'm just going to get up and I'm going to leave the room. That's a boundary. Because not only am I teaching you how to treat me, I'm also letting you know that I can't control you, but I can control me. And that doesn't work here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Should we explore these boundaries prior to getting married? Because here's one boundary that I've seen destroy couples.
Yeah.
Or tear them apart.
Yeah.
When it comes to the boundaries of the opposite sex.
Oh, come on.
Or even the same sex.
Come on.
Because you got some women and some men, they engage in a relationship and then it's like, okay, I got this friend or I got this girlfriend. You know, and but they may not be adding value to the relationship. Adding value now, because people watching or listening may say, well, he's trying to attack relationships that I had prior to me meeting this person. I don't believe that you should throw away relationships you had before you meet your partner. But however, there needs to be, what should I say? There needs to be, we need to review things because now we're merging together.
Can I tell you, we're not going to get this conversation done in this time.
Let me let you guys know, for those that are watching and listening, we talk often. So when it's done, we just took a pause. We will continue. There needs to be systems in place.
Oh, no doubt.
Because let's just say him or her, we merged our worlds together, and now it's like that's my homegirl, that's my homeboy. There's some dudes I can't hang with anymore. Not because I'm better than them, because I'm different, and I'm merging my world with another person.
Bro, oil and water.
So here's the thing. The girl says, let's say the guys first. I'm gonna come for the guys. The guy says, girl, that's my homegirl. That's my friend. I'm not cutting her off for you. Now, I'm not saying he should, but let's explore the dynamics of why he may have to or may not to. Why?
First and foremost, if her as a friend does not respect what you have in terms of relationship, you can't hold on to her. You're going to have to make a choice. Do you want to hold on to your friendship or do you want to hold on to your relationship?
Do we got to ask?
Huh?
Do you got to ask? Like, hey, no, just go ahead.
No, say it.
Do you got to ask your significant other?
If what?
Is it okay if I go see my friend?
I don't think it's a matter of asking to see your friend. I think a lot of the times we ask because we playing basehead games with ourselves. You asking to go see your friend so that you can feel okay with her saying, yes, you could go see your friend. when you know whether or not this friend is a threat to your relationship.
Let's do this. Let's define friends.
Oh, come on.
Because we're calling everybody friends.
It's a lot of dudes who are emotionally romantic with somebody else, but classifying them as platonic friends. As opposed to romantic. And the only person who don't know is you.
So is it truly a friend? It could be vice versa. Women saying, oh, that's my friend. But we got to define this friend thing, because I know we live in a society now where you could know somebody for a week. And I'm not saying that people can't develop friendships over a short period of time, but we really got to define, is this a friend, somebody I know of, or an associate?
So let me ask you this too. When we talk about relationship, what is the end result? Because that really classifies what we do and what we don't do. Are we dating just for the purposes of dating, or are we dating with the intention of becoming married at some point? If we dating to become married at some point, if that is our intention, that changes the dynamics of everything we do prior to. It's like building a building. This is why when we dropped the book, I just finished the book this week, as I was sharing with us before. And there's 4 areas. The name of the book is Quest for Faith. My name is Quest. My wife's name is Faith. But it's 4, the number 4, and not FOR. And the reason I say it 4, because there's 4 dynamics in the book: foundation, love, lifestyle, legacy. Those are the 4 areas. Before we get to the love, lifestyle, and legacy, who are you as an individual? Where's your integrity? Where's your character? A lot of the times in these relationships, we get, oh, them breasts is right. Them hips is right. Them thighs is looking right. That backside round is, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it looked like a peach upside down. And that's what we get caught up in. Then we do the premarital, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Which is, now I know it's an unpopular thing to say. I was having this discussion with my man earlier on. But really and truly, I say all of those things to say that those are the things that we get caught up in, rather than asking the questions and having the discussions about, what is this turning into? The word declares that without a vision, a people perish.
Yes.
I found out in the Hebrew, that perish doesn't necessarily mean destroying or demolishing. It means a taking off, a taking off of discipline, a taking off of character, a taking off of integrity. So where there is no vision, there is no integrity. Where there's no vision, there's no character. Where there's no vision, there's no discipline. So when we get into this relationship, if we don't discuss a vision as to where we're going to go with this, then you're right. We playing games, and we're going to end up making the mistakes that everybody else make when there is no vision.
So if there's no vision, then when I discuss boundaries, you think rules.
Oh, exactly.
You think control.
Exactly. But that's not what that is.
When we hear that word, though, as soon as we hear boundaries, I know I have. Even when I was in school, and the teachers would say, look, or my mom or whoever the parental person was at that time, and they said, look, don't go that far. Don't go past that boundary. I thought constricted rules. So now when you get in a relationship and we start to discuss boundaries, it comes off in the person's mind as rules or control.
But okay, let's go back to when you were a child, though. When you tell somebody, or you tell your child, don't do that, don't move in this direction. My daughter just turned 20 last week. And at this point of our life, I'm no longer disciplining or teaching anymore. I'm now coaching. And I'll probably be coaching until she gets off into her 30s, where we can establish friendship at that point. Right now, it's just coaching. There are certain things that I will tell her to do or not to do, not because I want to be this big disciplinarian in her life. I am a disciplinarian, but at the same breath, I'm telling you what I'm telling you for your protection. When we set boundaries in our relationship, it's not to tell you what you can and what you can't do. It is, but it isn't. And it isn't in the sense of, I'm trying to nurture what I said before, what boundaries do. Protect and nurture what we have here. I ain't telling nobody else nothing about boundaries. But if we want this to stand the test of time, because when we move to marriage status, that's what it's supposed to do. For better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, till death do us part. It's supposed to last us a lifetime. If we don't have no boundaries, if we don't have no vision, it's not going to stand the test of time.
Does your wife have opposite sex friends?
She does.
But
they're not friends that I don't know.
That's where I was getting at. So let's say, and there may be people listening that's not married, but I'm just saying people in committed relationships or people that are married, there's the opposite sex friend. And even if it's not the opposite sex friend, I believe at some point, if you're calling them friend, and we begin to spend intimate time with each other, my significant other should know this person.
Yo, let me tell you something. I got a homegirl, Kayla. Shouts out to Kayla. You know what I'm saying? Sierra. She's like my sister. You feel me? Me and her are close in terms of friendship, but she's also tight with my wife. There'll never be a time where I'm talking to her on FaceTime or whatever the case may be, and my wife can't come walking in at any time and say, "Hey, Kayla, what's up?"
Let's talk about that.
You understand what I'm telling you?
Because there's couples
never
where
be a time that
there's couples where they only talk to this friend when they're not around their significant other.
When Kayla calls, I'm not afraid to answer Kayla in front of my wife. Because she's not only friends with me, she's also friends with my wife.
Your wife can pick up the phone.
There are girlfriends that I've had, and I'm not saying girlfriends like relationship, friends that are girls. Let me make that distinction immediately. And when I say girlfriends, I'm saying friends that are girls. I've had girlfriends that I no longer have a maintaining friendship with. Why? Because my wife don't know you. And if I got to go through the whole thing of introducing you and y'all developing y'all relationship, when me and Kayla became friends, my wife and I were already married. There are girlfriends that I have that I still see, that I wave to, but we don't maintain the friendship because they were friends of mine before me and my wife got together. Some of them have maintain that relationship with me, but they got to understand you're not just maintaining relationship with me because I'm a part of a unit now. If you want to maintain this relationship, you also got to maintain the relationship with her.
Right. Now I believe you probably won't know all of your significant other's friends, but I'm talking about the ones you spend intimate time with consistently.
Yep.
Your partner should know them.
Know them real well.
What do you think about this, right?
Yeah.
Your partner has a friend. And same sex or opposite sex. They're inviting them to do activities. At what point do you become a part of those activities?
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You see what I'm saying? Let's just say, let's give an example. Okay, hey, such and such invited me to go bike riding. Do you believe there's certain activities where it's like, hold on, then I'm coming bike riding?
Yep.
But there's people listening and watching and saying, nah.
All right, let me keep it 100 with you. Right?
Go ahead.
Before me and Faith got married, we've been married now going into 12 years of marriage. Praise God. My first marriage, I was married in 2003 and divorced in 2005. In between the time of my divorce and my remarrying, it was about 6 or 7 years, right? Before my first marriage, I was wild for the night. I'm not bragging, but your boy got, you know what I'm saying? And I'm halfway decent. So if I got charisma and I'm halfway decent looking, and you know that, right? And this is prior to the health, the humility, the maturity, the vulnerability that I've experienced in my growth, right? With all the stuff that I've done, been addicted to porn before, all of the different dynamics that would not make me the best suited for somebody, right? Especially when I was on the road in the music business. You hear Luda talking about having them in every area code. Yeah, that was real life at one moment. Through the process of growth and becoming the individual that I am right now, right? I'm very aware. My mindset for me is always once an addict, always an addict. Even though I've got the victory over it, I'm not trying to find out where the threshold is or the breaking point is. If the fence is over there, and that's where the trouble takes place, I'm not going nowhere near the fence. Why? Because I'm not trying to find out. If I'm in this relationship, committed relationship, and it's been sweet for the last 12 years, not to say that we don't face difficulty and challenge, because we do. It's not what we face, but how we face it. The how we face it, we do because of my growth, her growth, and growth that we've done together. I ain't trying to go over there to find out where the threshing point is, especially while I'm in the relationship. If I falter, not only am I going to hurt myself, I'm going to hurt her. I'm not trying to do that. This is the person that I do life with. I don't do life around Faith. I do life with Faith. If that be the case, I'm not trying to find out through, you know what I'm saying, through an opportunity to do some foolishness. I ain't trying to find out how where my threshing point is. I'm grown. And if I'm grown, then I'm going to make the decisions that grown people make. The word declares, when I was a child, spake as a child, understood as a child, thought as a child. Spake, thought, understood. A system by which you think, you process information, you understand who you are as an individual. And some of us are adults only in age. And I know it because when the difficult, challenging times of opposition or temptation come, you get an F on the test.
Yeah. And this goes to my point when I usually say some of us like the idea of relationships.
Oh, come on.
But we don't like the commitment, the work, and the responsibility that comes with it. What you're talking about and what we're talking about in terms of boundaries, that's part of the commitment. That's part of the work. That's part of the responsibility. And it's not a negative thing. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
It's a great tool to have in place.
Yeah.
Boundaries.
Boundaries, bruh.
It's good.
Boundaries.
You may lose, here's the thing, you may lose some people you thought were friends.
Yep. And here's the funny thing. You set the boundaries early in the relationship so you can teach each other how to treat each other. Once you develop a relationship, you don't have a need for boundaries no more. I do what I do for you because I love you, not because of the boundary. Case in point. For those of us who are Christians or experiencing the Christian experience, the law was put in place so it can lead and guide you into understanding how to operate once you're in a relationship with Christ. But once you dive off into the depth of relationship with him, you no longer pay attention to the law. I don't have to tell, you don't got to tell somebody how to honor their mother once they honor their mother. Even though the law say honor your mother and father that your days may be long upon the land. Once he's off in it and he understands how to love and honor his parents, you ain't got to tell him how to do it now because it's a part of who he is. The boundaries are only in place to teach us who we need to be. Once we become, I could fly on autopilot now.
So we're talking about the boundaries for the opposite sex. We've been really elaborating on that. Let's say it's the same sex. Because there's sometimes it's not the opposite sex. Sometimes it's the same sex. Sometimes it's the guy or the guys that we're hanging out with that's putting this poor influence on your marriage or your intimate relationship. Or it's the woman or the women that you're hanging out with that's putting this poor influence into your marriage or your committed relationship.
I love it.
And some women and some men are like, that's my homeboy, man. We grew up together. I ain't letting him go for you.
Okay.
I ain't letting her go for you. I grew up with her.
Okay. Then maybe you might not want to be in a relationship.
That's the commitment and the work.
But I'm just saying, this is the reason why I'm saying from the beginning, what is the ultimate? A people with no vision perish. Where there is no vision, a people perish. I said it before. What is the goal for what we're doing right now? What is the vision that we have for our relationship? What is the vision that we have for where we're going as a couple? Remember when God put Adam and Eve together the first time? He didn't say, make babies, be happy. What did he say? Be fruitful, multiply, subdue the earth, have dominion. He was giving them vision from the jump. So that, in other words, whatever they were about to do that was not in alignment with be fruitful, multiply, subdue the earth, or have dominion, you probably should not do.
You know what I got out of that too? Because I was meditating on that the other day. What comes before this vision is deception.
Oh, come on, bruh.
What comes before you aligning and pursuing vision is deception. So there's always a deception or a deceiver that comes to try to manipulate the vision that you're setting out to fulfill.
And here's the funny thing. Sometimes you will deceive yourself into thinking something that is good for you, and it's not. You feel what I'm saying? Yep.
Wow. Boundaries.
Boundaries, bruh.
Why is the word though deemed like this controlling word?
Yeah, because once again, deception. When you are led, the word declares that, what does it say? Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he'll direct your path. If you don't have a vision or something that you can test the way that you think, or a litmus test if you do, what is your litmus test for your thinking or for your understanding? For me, it's God. Like for real, God said it, I believe it, and that settles it for me. You feel me? What is your litmus test? Because if all you hearing is your own voice, good luck with that.
So let's give some tools out.
Yep.
Somebody's in a relationship.
Yep.
Committed,
Yep.
married.
Yep.
And they're in this situation. Whether it may be a man and he's dealing with one of his homeboys, or he got his homegirl that he grew up with, and he don't want to let them go because they so cool, or it's a woman dealing with the same scenario. What's one of the first steps they need to take?
First of all, you need to understand, why are you in relationship with this individual? If your friend is more important than the person that you are in relationship with, like romantic relationship with, and you building a family with, then you need to go ahead and be with your friend. Don't enter in. It is selfish for an individual knowing what relationship is and how. Okay. First of all, understand that relationship and moving into marriage, when I speak of relationship, I'm always speaking with the intention of becoming married and doing life with one another, not around one another, with one another. Mm-hmm. The word declares, and for this reason, for the reason of marriage, shall a man leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. You feel me? Mm-hmm. If I'm leaving my mother and my father who gave me life, what that mean for you as a friend? You feel me? So if your friend is more important than the person that you are about to do life with, then you need to let that go. This is the reason why premarital and all of that stuff is important, because now we're figuring out who we are as individuals. And I don't care nothing about it. And this is the reason why I say don't have sex before marriage, because what sex does is cause you to put focus on the chemistry between us. Mm-hmm. But what happens when the chemistry ain't there? If we're not compatible for one another, there's going to be days where the chemistry is not there. Yeah. But if you got compatibility there, I always say compatibility over chemistry.
Compatibility over chemistry.
Come on, bro.
Compatibility over chemistry allows us to put in boundaries. Listen, man. If you are single, dating, or married, and you're looking for a place to get tools to build and have healthy relationships, I need you to tune into the Value TV show. I am Jamel Jackson, your relationship mechanic.
No doubt.
This is my guy, Quest Green, man. Quest, tell the people where they can find you at, man.
You can find me a number of different places, man. You can find me on IG at Quest_Green. You can find me on Facebook at Quest Green. You can find me on YouTube. Tons of videos there. Just search for Quest Green, QUESTGREEN, just like the color. And that's just a couple of the places. If you want to email me, you can email me at info@jquestgreen.com. You can stop by my website at www.jquestgreen.com. I mean, yeah, that's the number of places that you can get the kids.
Awesome, man. Yo, we over and out, man.
Yeah. Peace out, y'all.